Yeah, it's exciting. We had a good skate today and got to meet some of the tryout players, and really excited to build on last season and have some momentum going into this year.
Is it a different feeling coming into a camp coming off a year like you guys had as opposed to past years when you didn't make the postseason?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we have some returning players as well from last year's team that experienced our run. I think the continuity we have in that respect is nice. We've never really had that, or the potential to have this many returning players. Plus the Hawks winning the Stanley Cup and everyone being part of that, I think brings a nice, good mood to camp here this year.
Was it more important this year than in previous years to bring some guys back based on you got far into the playoffs and that disappointment? Was it important to bring a guy like Labrie and Leighton back?
Yeah, I think we've never really done that as an organization. Brought those 2 or 3 veterans back for a second year or third year, and I think it's important. I mean, you look at a team like Grand Rapids and the success they've had, and the continuity they have with their leadership group and their captains, and even this year, Hogan's coming back to be their captain, and Paige will be back there, and so I think it helps. It helps the room. They know what to expect from us as coaches and what the standards are, and they can sort of filter that to the new guys.
Let's talk about some of those new faces. You got Jake Dowell back, Jeremy Morin. Dowell in particular, I mean, just what does he bring back to this organization?
Yeah, I mean, Dalsey was our captain there 7 years ago maybe, and he's a great guy. I had the opportunity to coach him in Norfolk when he came out of college, and then here in Rockford, and Oz actually was his assistant coach at Wisconsin, so there's a lot of history there, and he works hard, and he's a great leader, and I'm sure he's going to help the whole team and the young guys out.
I'm excited to have some of the younger guys back, someone like Kiro, who got some time last year, and now he's going to probably get even more coming into this season.
Yeah, the guys that come in at the end of last year, Kiro, Hinestroza, got some games under their belt, and know what the routine is here in Rockford, and the level of play, the speed, the travel, everything like that. I think that can only help them get off to a good start this year.
What are your expectations for Jeremy? I mean, have you said anything to him, and what do you hope he can do down here?
Well, I've stayed in touch with Mo. He had a tough year last year with some injuries in Columbus when he moved on, and then ends up coming back to Chicago in the trade. So, I'm a big Jeremy Morin fan. He's a goal scorer. He shoots the puck. He's greasy in the corners, slippery, if you will. And obviously he's disappointed to be sent down and to come to Rockford right now. But, after 2 or 3, 4 days when he gets in the routine, and he obviously wants to prove they made a mistake, and he wants to also showcase himself, for potentially 29 other teams that might be interested in him.
I'm sure this is the last place he expected to be. I know you haven't talked, or he said you haven't talked to him yet, but what are you going to communicate to him? What are you looking for from him?
Yeah, we're going to talk here today. There's so many new guys and older guys that have conversations with, but the message to Mo is that we believe in him here in Rockford, the coaching staff, especially I've been with him for parts of 4 or 5 seasons now, and we just have to get him playing at a high level, get his confidence back, get him scoring goals, which is his bread and butter, and then try and have the best start he can, and whether the call comes from Chicago or he has to move on to a different organization, that'll play out. But we just want to get him having fun again, coming to the rink every day and playing with confidence.
We saw you on the ice after Game 6. Just how great was that experience for you, and seeing a lot of your former guys on the ice? And I'm sure that's going to add some extra motivation to the guys who want to get there for this coming season too.
Yeah, it was fun. Sort of coming into the organization when I did, going to my 10th season and being able to go through the experience of the Blackhawks winning 3 Stanley Cups since I've been here, and them really including us in the process has been great. And to be able to see those young guys go up to the NHL and live out their dream of winning a Stanley Cup, especially this past year on home ice in Chicago, and being able to see Nordy out there and all the players that have come through Rockford. I mean, those are nice moments, and those are rewarding moments for us coaches here in Rockford.
Looking at your roster, it projects out to have a lot of physicality on it, a lot of guys that can play rough. Do you expect that? You want to be tough to play against in that way this year?
Well, you know, the game's changed so much over the last couple of years, Chris. And I mean, we have some guys that definitely have made their mark in pro hockey as physical players. You know, whether it's, you know, being aggressive, hard to play against, hitting, fighting. But we want to play sort of like Chicago. We want to be a puck possession team, and I think last year was the first year we really got real close to that. Offensive team, score goals, play fast. And we want to turn these players that you're mentioning. We want to really work on their skill set with the puck, especially, so they can to be able to play in the NHL. If you're tough, that's great, but you have to be able to handle the puck and make plays, especially if you're going to play for Chicago. So that's going to be our goal with some of these new guys.